Well, ever since I was a kid, I've always, my parents used to tell me that I was from a different time. I always have been interested in, well, swords and armor and stuff. I mean, I don't know many kids that were guys, you know. Fast forward into my early 20s, and I was living in Santa Barbara, and at the Santa Barbara City College, they had a bronze casting workshop that was part of the sculpture program. And met this guy, Jeff Overly, really cool dude. I was in the class, and he says, well, why don't you learn how to forge? There's a guy building a forge out in the stone yard. Had built a really cool coal forge and had some great basic hand tools out there. And when I saw him fire up that forge and get a piece of steel screaming hot, it was like sparkling. And I was like, oh my God, this is where I live. This is where I need to be, you know? So I did everything I could to just jump in with both feet. Always, there has been this desire to make tools and blades. I love to cook. So a nice kitchen knife, you know, the idea of making a nice kitchen knife was very appealing to me and still is. Having a good kitchen knife is just a blast. And some people could care less. They have no problem going to a thrift store and buying a knife for $2, and they don't even care if it's dull as long as they, you know, are able to make dinner. But some people are the opposite, and they really want something that has some meaning for them and also a nice, beautiful tool. I mean, you know, I love a knife. A knife is a tool I use every single day, and there's something very satisfying about that. And as a blacksmith, you know, I make a lot of tools, and so this is now a tool that I get to use outside of my shop, because all of my tools are typically kept within the shop. I've always loved teaching, and so I've been teaching for probably 15 years, you know, on and off, maybe longer, probably longer. And now that I've got more of a focus, it's actually opened up some doors for me in the teaching world. Well, one of the things that appeals to me about teaching is I know what it's like to want to do something, but maybe I don't have the facility, maybe I have zero clue as to how to approach it. And when somebody provides me with the opportunity to explore something that I'm interested in, that in and of itself is fantastic. There are little details that are important to me, and I'm always raising the bar every week. Every week I'm raising the bar. And that's one of the great things about working with metal and knife making in particular. But really you can say it about anything, whether it's sculptural work, you know, functional work, whatever. If you're truly a craftsman, you're going to continually be challenging yourself.